Have you ever wondered why some people rise in life while others remain exactly where they are year after year? Have you ever looked at someone who seems to evolve, improve, and transform continuously and asked yourself, why them and not everyone else? And the most important question of all, what would happen if I truly decided, to grow on purpose instead of waiting for life to push me? Before we dive deep into this journey, if you find value in these reflections, feel free to subscribe, because together we explore ideas that change the way we grow. Think and act, and each video is an opportunity to rise a little higher than yesterday. We begin with something simple, yet profoundly uncomfortable. Most people do not grow because they never intend to grow. They drift, they wait. They hope that experience alone will transform them. They assume that time will automatically produce maturity, wisdom, and success. But time does not make us better. Time only passes. It is intention that turns time into progress. Without intention, 10 years can teach us nothing. With intention, even 10 weeks can transform our lives. John Maxwell calls this the Law of Intentionality, but this law existed long before any modern book. Ancient thinkers understood it. The Greek philosopher Aristotle said that excellence is not an act, but a habit. He meant that growth is never random. It is the result of deliberate, repeated, intentional choices. The person you become tomorrow begins with a conscious act today. But why is intentional growth so rare? Because drifting is easy. It requires nothing from us. Drifting is the natural human autopilot. We wake up, repeat yesterday, move with routine, react instead of create, wait instead of act. Drifting gives us the illusion of movement, but brings us nowhere new. And yet, every human being has a desire for progress. We all want a better future, better relationships, better opportunities, better self-control, better confidence, better results. But desire without intention is a wish, and wishes do not shape a life. Intention does. Intentional growth begins the moment you stop asking, "Can I?" and start asking, "How can I?" It begins when you stop waiting for the right time, because there is no right time. Growth does not happen when circumstances are perfect. Growth creates its own circumstances. Intentionality means realizing that your life will move in the direction of your decisions, not in the direction of your hopes. Many people believe that growth is automatic in childhood, so they assume it continues in adulthood. When we are children, growth is automatic because our bodies are designed for it. But personal growth, emotional, intellectual, professional, and spiritual, is not automatic. Adults do not grow unless they choose to. The world is full of people who have lived 40 years without becoming one day wiser, simply because they never intended to evolve. Intentionality is the border between living by design and living by default. To grow intentionally, you must confront 8 common growth gaps that imprison people. The first is the assumption gap, the belief that growth will just happen. Nothing could be further from the truth. Growth requires action. The second is the knowledge gap, thinking I don't know how to grow, but no one knows everything at the beginning. You learn the path by walking it. The third is the timing gap, waiting for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment is now. The fourth is the mistake gap, fear of doing things wrong. But mistakes are not the enemy. They are the tuition we pay for progress. The fifth is the perfection gap, believing you must know everything before you start. No one who achieved greatness started with clarity. They started with courage. The sixth is the inspiration gap, waiting to feel motivated. But motivation comes from action, not the other way around. The seventh is the comparison gap, feeling behind because others are ahead. Growth is not a race, it is a commitment. And the eighth is the expectation gap, thinking growth should be fast and easy. Growth is slow, uneven, and sometimes painful, but always worth it. Intentionality means removing these gaps one by one. It means understanding that growth is not accidental. It is architectural. You build it, you design it. You construct the person you wish to become through decisions you make daily. And the smallest intentional act can change an entire direction. Imagine two ships leaving the same port. If one ship changes its course by even 2 degrees, after enough distance, it will end up in an entirely different continent. That is intentional growth. Small, deliberate decisions done repeatedly create astonishing results over time. Waking up 15 minutes earlier, reading 10 pages a day, practicing one new skill each week, speaking one kind sentence when you're tempted to be silent. These small, intentional actions accumulate and change who you are capable of becoming. One of the greatest obstacles to intentional growth is the belief that improvement requires huge, dramatic actions. But real growth is almost always the opposite: slow, subtle, consistent. Think of a tree. A seed grows underground long before you see the first leaf. Hidden growth precedes visible growth. You may feel like nothing is changing, but intentional habits reshape you internally long before the world notices externally. Another obstacle is fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of change, fear of judgment. Fear whispers, "Stay here, where it's safe." But intentional growth is never safe. It always pulls you beyond the known. You cannot grow inside your comfort zone. Comfort protects the past. Growth shapes the future. If your future is bigger than your comfort zone, growth demands expansion. Fear is only a signal that you are stepping into the unknown, and the unknown is where growth lives. Intentionality also requires responsibility. You must accept that you are the only person who can decide your growth. Not your parents, not your partner, not your job, not your society. Your growth is your duty. Your life belongs to you. And every day you choose whether you rise or remain. Maxwell says, growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. Intentional growth reintroduces that tension. It forces you to ask, what is the person I could become if I stopped drifting? To grow intentionally, you must also create clarity. You cannot grow toward a blurry direction. Growth needs a target. Even if the target changes later, having one pulls you forward. Ask yourself, what do I want to improve this year? My mindset, my discipline, my relationships, my health, my income, my emotional stability. Growth responds to specificity. What you define becomes achievable. But intention alone is not enough. You must create a growth plan. A plan that says, every day I will do something that makes me better. A daily act of growth is more powerful than a monthly burst of motivation. Every great achiever, from athletes to philosophers to scientists, built their greatness on small, intentional daily actions. Not inspiration, discipline. Not luck, structure. Intentional growth is also tied to awareness. You must observe your life honestly. Where are you wasting time? Where are you repeating harmful habits? Where are you avoiding decisions? Where are you allowing fear to shrink your possibilities? Self-awareness is painful, but it is also liberating. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. And then there is accountability. No one grows consistently alone. Having someone who challenges you, pushes your standards, or even simply listens to your goals increases your likelihood of growth dramatically. Models, mentors, books, teachers, anything that elevates your standards is part of intentional growth. You grow into the level of the people and ideas you surround yourself with. But perhaps the most powerful part of intentional growth is identity. Growth is not only about what you do, it is about who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who grows, someone who improves, someone who learns, someone who evolves, then intentionality becomes natural. Identity shapes action. Action reinforces identity. Together, they create a cycle of continuous development. Growth also requires patience. You will not see transformation immediately. but every day of intentional effort adds to the person you are becoming. The day will come when you look back and ask, how did I get here? And the answer will be, by choosing to grow on purpose when no one was watching. Intentionality asks you to stop drifting through life and begin designing it. It asks you to stop waiting for inspiration and start creating momentum. It asks you to stop hoping for better days and start building them. It asks you to stop blaming circumstances and start shaping outcomes. It asks you to stop living reactively and start living deliberately. At the end of your life, you will not regret the dreams you achieved. You will regret the dreams you never pursued because you waited for the right moment. Today is the right moment. Growth begins now, not tomorrow, not someday. Now. So ask yourself, what is one intentional decision you can make today that your future self will thank you for? What is one habit, one step, one small action that begins your transformation? Choose it, commit to it, repeat it. Because the law of intentionality reminds us of one truth: you do not become better by accident. You become better by intention.